guys, welcome back. This is going to be part of the computer build series. You already seen a short of what we're using, so let's just kind of get into the building. This isn't going to be a tutorial on how to do it, just going to give you my walkthrough of doing it. So we have a Kraken. Let's see if I can get this over here so you can see it better real quick without crushing anything. The Kraken 360 RGB AIO. For those who don't know, AIO is all-in-one cooler. And it looks like my lighting's a little weird, but I apologize. We're also going to be using 32 gigs of 6000 megahertz DDR5 RGB, of course. We're going to be using socket helper. This is going to help our socket give us the best possible footprint for our AIO to give us the best possible heat conduction. Our CPU is, as you've seen in the little short, i7 12700K. So I've already pulled the back plate. Let me see if I can get this off of here. I've already pulled the back plate of our AIO out and stuck it on our board, because we're going to need that to hold the back plate of the little socket that Intel uses. So in order to keep it placed, we're just going to go ahead and put these screws in. Got 4 of them. They don't need to be super tight, just snug. Alright, so don't go all Arnold Schwarzenegger on it. You don't need to. Make sure you get them lined up straight and even, and just put them in until they're snug. The next part, a little trickier. We'll get to that in just a moment. And if you got big fingers like I do, sometimes these little tiny spots are hard to get into. Now, if we pick the board up, that'll keep that plate from falling off. The next thing is we're going to take our chip. And fortunately, unlike the days of old where all the pins were on the chip itself, actually there's no pins on here anymore. Kind of weird looking. Really shouldn't be touching the chip. But anyway, we need to pull this up, triangle to triangle. Do not drop your chip in here because the pins on these boards are very delicate. Did I put it in wrong? I must have. No, I did not. Let me double check. Oh, that's where it's supposed to go. There we go. Okay. Now, this is where it starts getting a little scary for some people. You want to make sure this doesn't move. You want to protect those pins at all costs. They're very delicate. What you want to do is take this bracket off. And you will need to reuse these screws. So don't lose them. And the reason you want to put your chip in now is that way if you accidentally pick this up and drop something, you don't drop it on your socket. That would be a very bad day for you and your support team. You know, whoever you got the motherboard from, they might not appreciate it. And like I said, we need to reuse those screws. Now we gently put this in place, very carefully. Now the reason I went with ThermalRight instead of the one from, say, DeBauer is ThermalRight has pads underneath the bottom side, so you when you tighten this down, it's just tight. Doesn't have to be super tight, just tight. I hope that's not for me. Nope, garbage truck. Anywho, I'm waiting to do something. But the ThermalRight, it's just flush with the board. The one from DeBauer, you have to, it's a lot more work. You'll look it up, you'll see. But the tricky part to these is not just putting it in, is you want to make sure you get it nice and level. So what I would do is, and you don't want to strip these out, so I'd back it up, until you hear the screw line up. Then gently, just kind of like half a turn, not much more than that. You just want to get the thread started. You're still recording, looks like it. Now that you've got them all started, we want to take them down nice and evenly all the way down until they're just snug. I kind of hold it in place. I'd only do like half a turn at a time. So they just get snug. And then just a little bit more, like another quarter turn. That one's snug. That one's snug. That one's snug. And that one's snug. I'm only going to turn it till they just touch because this won't move at that point. Now somebody may be saying, shouldn't you put heat? No. You don't need to put thermal grease on it yet until we actually go to mount the AIO. This part's been long enough. I don't know how long. Almost 7 minutes. That's probably long enough for this part. So that'll be it for this vid. I will get the next part started, and when it's time, I'll bring you back for the next part. Be watching for the computer case review. I think it's a pretty decent case, otherwise I wouldn't have picked it. So until next time, peace.